So this was the go home show to not only Saturday night's main event, but also the Evolution PLE. Everything nowadays just feels really just kind of rushed as far as Evolution and as far as Saturday night's main event. Obviously they want to get these events out here during this weekend because they obviously are trying to fuck over AEW with their All In show. So obviously they're trying to load up everything this weekend, but really when you think about it, it really just makes everything, like, it oversaturates everything, right? Because you have to watch a plethora of wrestling shows this weekend if you really want to be in the know with everything. But as far as here tonight goes, tonight was the night of the Seth Riders. As much as they don't currently have a name, they've been alluded to as the Visionaries, as the Revolutionary, whatever bullshit moniker they want to be given as. To me, I'm just going to call them the Seth Riders because that's kind of what they represent to me. Paul Heyman nowadays is going by the Oracle. They explained kind of what this was on commentary. Like, what does that mean necessarily, right? It just kind of, it's another way of trying to take away from the bloodline without trying to take away from them 100%. Obviously, the wise man back in the day, but regardless, this was all about the Seth Riders, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Seth Rollins. We actually got some promo time from Seth Rollins, Bronson Reed, and Braun Breaker. Everybody here got some promo time, which is something that I wanted to talk about because a few weeks ago, I mentioned how these two guys, Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, just kind of felt like Seth Rollins as lackeys because these two guys can cut amazing promos, but they just haven't been given the time or the resources at all to, show what they're all about on the microphone. Where they essentially picked apart each and every opponent that they had and what they were going to do with them, that being Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, and Penta, the current, top baby faces, I guess you could say, on the Raw brand, going against, the Seth Rollins faction. They took out Sami Zayn. They laid him out indefinitely out of action. Obviously, Karrion Kross helped out with that a lot as well, attacking Zayn before the match. Karrion Kross, by the way, is super over. There was an interview during the commercial break, and this entire crowd was chanting, "We want Kross, we want Kross." So obviously, it seems like now they're finally starting to pick up the pace with Karrion Kross. And now that he helped take out Sami Zayn for an undisclosed period of time, I believe that you may see that match at SummerSlam between Karrion Kross and Sami Zayn. But one thing that Paul Heyman mentioned during this promo was the fact that he mentioned Roman Reigns. He said Roman Reigns does not have the balls to stop us. Now, what does that mean entirely? Because they wouldn't just mention Roman Reigns' name for no reason. Everything that is done here during these promos and during these segments, it means something. So what does that mean in the grand scheme of things? Well, we know and we've heard that Roman Reigns is on his way back to WWE television. He's obviously going to be at SummerSlam in one, form or fashion. Now, I believe that you may see Roman Reigns return at Saturday night's main event. I believe that there may be a cash-in attempt by Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns ends off fighting him off and Roman Reigns returns. Or you may see him next week. But I believe that either you can see Roman Reigns against Seth Rollins, or you may see the partnership once again spark up between CM Punk and Roman Reigns against the combination of Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker, or Seth Rollins and Bronson Reed. We also got the World Heavyweight Champion Gunther here to address Goldberg. They had their little last minute face-to-face between Gunther and Goldberg. Gunther came out to the ring and essentially called out Goldberg, saying that, for the last few couple of weeks, Gunther has been talking shit about Goldberg, and Goldberg hasn't been anywhere to be seen. And all of a sudden you hear a car starts to drive up, and it's Goldberg. He comes out of his muscle car. He confronts Gunther. He tells him, to stop talking and let his actions speak for themselves. He lets Gunther try to go for a punch, but then Goldberg gives him a hit and then sets up for the spear, and Gunther rolls out the way as Goldberg sort of stands tall. So I still believe 100% they should not give Goldberg the championship. I still believe 100% Gunther has to win this Saturday at Saturday night's main event. We also got Ludwig Kaiser as Grande Americano against Dragon Lee. And my biggest question was, thinking about this as I'm watching this, is, in kayfabe wise, what does Ludwig Kaiser have to gain from being Grande Americano? You know what I mean? Like, what are we ultimately leading to here? Are we leading to a Americano against Americano match? Are we leading to something else? Like, what the purpose is of Ludwig as the Grande Americano character, because Ludwig by himself, he doesn't really need to be doing this gimmick. He could literally just come out there as himself, as Kaiser. But I don't know why they're giving him this gimmick, and I don't know really what we're leading to, if that makes sense. We also got Lyra Valkyria standing tall over Becky Lynch and Bayley. I believe, though, 100% Becky Lynch is going to win come Evolution. I don't really see either Bayley or Lyra winning, to be honest, the Intercontinental Championship. And Asuka and Kairi Sane are the last tag team from Raw to be in that four-corner tag team match against Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez for the Women's Tag Team Championships. I believe that it's probably going to be Roxanne and Raquel that end up winning here. I mean, they could give it to Alexa and Charlotte, but I feel like there's more of a story with them chasing the titles rather than them winning instantly. And finally, at the main event, we had Penta against Seth Rollins in a very good match. Seth Rollins got the win here after he kind of low-blowed Penta and he gave him a stomp, and then he calls for Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker to come out here and lay out Penta like they did to Jey Uso and Sami Zayn, when all of a sudden LA Knight comes out here and gives Seth Rollins a BFT, scurries off before the two Brons can get a hold of him, and that's how we end off the show. So like I said, my main sort of conclusion coming out of this whole entire Raw is the fact that they took out a good amount of baby faces, right? So now it's kind of like that 11th hour of who's going to really save us. And that's when I think you see Roman Reigns reappear at Saturday night's main event. But post your comments down below. Let me know what you guys thought of tonight's episode of Raw. And until next time, I will see all of you on the next one.